It's almost impossible to use the word you too much. You probably notice that I use it quite a bit in this text here. The reason I do that is that I want to connect with you as a person. The way I do that is by addressing you directly. If you do the same thing, the person on the other end will connect with you as well. I have to somehow remove the distance between you and them. The best way to do that is psychologically. You're not going to be able to sit next to them, guide them through the ordering process. You develop an emotional bond with the person that is built upon trust and understanding. You have a short period to do it. If you can pull it off, they're far more likely to buy. A small percentage of people do make purchasing decisions based on price alone. Those people are savvy shoppers who do lots of research before buying. You're not targeting those people at all. They aren't the ones who land on your page and decide right away to buy or not. You're seeking impulse buyers who make split-second decisions. Some people have enough money or don't care about the cost of something. It flies right over their head, and it's the least of their concern. It also depends on what you're selling. An item priced at around $15 will fly off the shelves a lot faster than something that costs $1,500. None of this should be surprising because $15 is next to nothing. What is a good value? Well, it depends on what your niche is. What are the selling points of your product? What makes it a good value in the first place? Many products are being sold as value, and they aren't. It's your job to convince the buyer that what they're about to buy is something of great value. A web hosting package may not be the cheapest on the market, and it might be quite expensive. Just because the hosting package is expensive doesn't mean it isn't a good value. What are the perks that the customers are getting for their money? Do they get free WordPress themes, real 24/7 support, or something else that most hosts don't offer? You have to tell the person what are the things of value and why they're so valuable. Something could be inexpensive and not a good deal. A set of car tires might be cheap, but they're junk. An expensive pair of tires might be expensive, but they'll last. You see, it's your job to convince the person that what you have for sale is a good value. The amount of money they are paying is irrelevant. How much something costs only matters if you're targeting people who are buying low-end stuff. If that's the case, then the only thing they're probably concerned about is the price and not much else. No person wants to miss out on something. Think back to a special offer that you missed out on. How did it make you feel? It made you feel terrible. Why? It's because you missed out on something that you really wanted. At least, you thought you wanted. It's entirely possible that the only reason why you wanted it was because it was available for a limited time. Fast food restaurants are great at this when marketing their promo items. How many people rush to McDonald's to get a McRib sandwich because they know it won't be around forever? They might not even be fanatics about the sandwich, but they'll still go to McDonald's to get one, since it's available for a limited time. What do you offer someone that only has a short window of availability? You might offer the customer free shipping if they buy right now. You could also double their order and send them twice as much product. If that doesn't work, then offer them a discount for a limited time. You get the idea. You need to offer something that's not going to be here forever. You want to make sure what you're offering is something of real value. Don't offer the person junk in hopes that it sways them. A little common sense goes a long way when it comes to trying to convince someone now is a better time to buy instead of waiting. Are you only offering free shipping over the weekend? If so, put a countdown timer on the page to show them how much time is left. You need to make sure they understand the urgency of the situation. If the person waits until Monday to buy, then they'll have to pay for shipping. That's the way the cookie crumbles when you wait around. You want to use words and phrases like miss and miss out. Make them feel like they will miss out on something extraordinary if they don't act right this very minute. It's hard to believe that people want to be told what to do. But they do. The person who reads your sales text wants to know what you want them to do. It's so important that you follow through with the call to action. It's also important that your call to action is at the end of your sales text. If the person gets that far, then they've already shown an interest. Now it's only a matter of you sealing the deal and getting it over with. You have to lure a person in by dangling compelling copy at them. After you've lured them in, they're eating out of the palm of your hand. They are waiting for you to tell them what to do. What do you want them to do? Do you want their email address? If so, tell them exactly how to submit it. If you're trying to sell them something, have them click and fill out the order form. Yes, they need to be told what to do next. A line or two is all it takes to instill in them what needs to happen next. You're not jamming something down their throat that will take paragraphs to do. Anything more than a handful of sentences and you're going to push them away. Sales is a delicate balancing act where you've got to lead the person down the path of your choosing. You need to be firm in your call to action. There can be zero doubt in their mind what steps they must do. Anytime there is doubt, the average person will back out of the sale. It doesn't matter how simple of a question they may have. They need to feel as if the entire process is laid out for them. That doesn't mean you walk them through the whole order form or anything like that. It means they are well aware that you want them to click on over to the order form and fill it out. Any doubt or confusion will end up causing you problems with your conversion rate. 3 is the magic number for some reason. It's hard to understand why 3 is the number that works so well, but it does. You do need to repeat the number one reason why the person needs to buy whatever it is you're selling. You need to pound it into their mind. Whatever the benefit is, it's what they need to know. Any doubt in their mind needs to be erased by the time you give them your call to action. By that point, you should have already mentioned 3 times why their purchase is so important. The majority of people who are reading your sales copy do so because they're on the fence, unsure about buying your product. They haven't made up their mind yet. That's why they are taking the time out to read your sales text. If they knew what they wanted, then they'd find it. You might think that this is a far too simplistic approach to sales, but it's the truth. Someone who is window shopping doesn't know if they want to buy the item or not. They are waiting for someone, such as yourself, to push them over the edge. Someone will, and your sales copy will determine if it's you who gets the sale or the competition. By the time they have digested all of your copy, they should already be sold. Now it's only a matter of them following through on your call to action. You do so by repeating the same thing over and over again in a different way. You're trying to hit home on the idea that they need what you're selling badly. The number one thing that you're keeping touching on is the reason for it. They need this kitchen knife set because it'll replace so many different things in their kitchen. Pound it in their mind that it will replace all kinds of kitchen utensils that do nothing but clutter the place up. You may have to split test your sales copy to see which selling point people respond to the most. This is the one area where internet marketers always seem to fail. They don't understand the importance of understanding their market. You can't sell something if you don't know who is going to buy it. You can't research your target audience enough. You need to know the race, gender, and age of the person you're targeting. Also, you need to know how much money they earn. All of this information isn't as difficult to obtain as you may think. It only takes a little research, and most of it can be done online. Your sales copy has to be tailored precisely around the ideal customer. You have to get into their head and think about how they are going to react to your words. It's not as difficult as it sounds. You don't market pantyhose to men. So, then who do you market them to? You know that women are going to buy pantyhose, but you might be selling support pantyhose. If that's the case, then you might market them to older women or women who work on their feet a lot. Knowing who your customer is vital in the sense that anyone outside of their demographic is less likely to buy. Anyone who isn't going to purchase from you is a waste of resources. You're in this to make money, and that's it. If you're buying traffic, you need to buy it from a source where you can control who sees the ads. Facebook is an excellent source of traffic because you can show your ads to a particular group of people. You also want to think about what type of device the person is using and their location. All of this is important, as you can mold your sales copy around it. You want to talk directly to the person, and the only way you can do that is by fully understanding who they are. Your conversions will tank if you're far too broad when it comes to who you're targeting. It's all making sure the exact person reads the right copy. It's not possible to hit a home run every time you type out sales copy. Sometimes the text will read tremendous, and it doesn't perform well at all. There isn't much that you can do to ensure that your copy works 100% of the time. You should care about conversions more than anything else. Squeezing as much money as possible from your traffic is the name of the game. Anything short of that, and you're failing yourself. Your ability to expand will be directly linked to your conversion rates. You're not here to make friends or to send people to pages that make them feel warm and fuzzy. You're in this to make money, and if that's not happening to the best of your ability, then there's a problem. This could be the software that you host yourself, or you'll need to use a software as a service. Either way, you need to have some method of being able to split test different sales copy and see which one works best. You must know where the traffic is coming from. If you split test traffic from different parts of the world, the results are going to be different. You'll even find that Canadians respond differently than Americans. So, when split testing your sales copy, make sure that you keep demographic in mind. If you don't, then the numbers will be skewed, and they'll be misleading. You are continually growing as a copywriter. You aren't the same person you were 6 months ago. Don't be shy about trying to improve what you feel is already the perfect sales text. You should change things up every few years at the least. But there's no harm in split testing different sales copy months down the line to see if it can be improved. You learn as you go, and you'll pick up various tricks along the way. A light bulb will go off in your mind when you're working on another project, and you want to try it out on an existing piece of copy. You can do that. Just make sure that you split test it and pay close attention to the results. Writing sales copy in an email is a whole different ballgame than for the web. You have a much more limited amount of space to work with. People do not read long emails. They will skip right over your email without thinking twice about it. At best, you will get someone to skim a long email. At worst, and the most likely scenario, is that they hit the back button. People don't respond well to emails that take longer than a couple of seconds to read.